Hey everyone, Pepper here. Just got over a slight cold, so well, more or less like a sore throat, and yeah, so let's get started. So, kind of want to start out where I kind of did what I did last week, where I swatched it off camera. This was the one picture or the image I was supposed to do last week. But I decided to do Krampus instead because Krampus night was on the 5th of December, so I wanted to make sure I got it done before then. This week's is 3 colors. One is a mica mix with a pinkish tone. I believe it's like Shimmering Skin or something. I don't know. I call it something weird every time. I don't think I actually officially named it yet, but I think I have it somewhere. I can't remember. Anyway, a lot of going back and forth with this image, which brought up the topic for myself of artist burnout. Mainly, I don't know if you guys have heard enough from artists about their burnouts. They happen quite frequently for a lot of people, and for a lot of people, they don't even realize that an artist is actually experiencing burnout unless they say something. But let's be realistic. I don't know if you guys have really taken notice to a lot of mine or not, but I've been working on the same projects for probably about a good couple of years, and I keep putting stuff in front of them, or I keep not accomplishing them as fast as I like. But there's a lot of things that are going on in my life that I think that I kind of came to the realization the other day that I've been dealing with, definitely been dealing with burnout thoughts for maybe probably a year and a half. I've been still producing art and I've been still doing art. The problem is there is, with these prompts, I've been noticing that I've just been kind of just pushing through to try to get through the burnout and trying to get a lot of stuff back and everything. But the thing is it's leading to the whole I've been just trying to go through the motions type deal, yay. But with this prompt, it was actually quite fun because it was a prompt that I don't normally get to do very often, which was a scene prompt. So it was a wheat field with a town in the background was the theme prompt, in which case, obviously my husband is the one that gave it to me. I definitely did not give this to myself. But I mean, it did make some for fun, and you saw me doing the sketches. I did think about doing some pen and ink work with this one. I tried out various a couple of different inks. I thought all of them would work, but I was having some huge pen issues. You don't quite see them. You see that I'm working on something, but you just don't see exactly what I'm working on. Basically, one of my pens broke. And the nib that I'm using, I need to replace it very badly. And this kind of proved it today that it needed to be replaced. It's one of those nibs. The nib that I'm using, it's one of those nibs that you buy singularly for $5, but I just don't have the ability to get to the store, and I can't remember the brand that I got it from. So that's always fun, right? Anyway, I decided to go just with a pen ink marker type situation. My zebra ones that I've gotten. If you look online, you'll find that they technically don't say that they're waterproof, but I've been using them for maybe about 4 years now with a majority of my artwork, and I just let it dry as best as possible, and they've always never bled or anything like that for me when I'm using them on good quality paper. But getting back to the exact thing, what brought this about was, um, with this image, like I kept thinking about like what was going on like a few years back with me, what was going on currently. Everyone's dealing with COVID. Everyone's dealing with different things. Everyone's dealing with things that they weren't really expecting to deal with this year. And what it led to was me thinking about like, why haven't I really accomplished what I wanted to accomplish, say at the beginning of this year, which I was very hopeful I was going to accomplish a lot. And what ended up happening was I went on this like really weird pathway, I guess you could say, where I wasn't really, basically in my mind I just realized like I wasn't really doing what I needed to get done. And then obviously with a whole bunch of other people that I know posting about burnout symptoms from artists, a whole bunch of other things, kind of deducted. Yeah, so it's definitely been a burnout. End of, like, the last time I stopped doing videos for a very long time, it was almost a full year before I actually picked it back up, and that should tell you something right there. I was constantly trying to do videos and stuff like that, but like when I look back about that time, it was one of these things of like, I thought I had to do these videos on a regular basis, and I was trying to come up with topics, and I didn't want to repeat topics. And then I realized that's why so many artists talk about the same things over and over and over again, is because we all talk about these topics, we all have these topics in mind, and we want to kind of convey our own impressions of them and everything like that. But it's like this constant need to perform, and that's what causes a lot of artist burnout, is to complete projects, or do this project, or do this project, or maybe push themselves a little bit more. And ultimately what I ended up doing was I pushed myself out of the drive to actually not only to perform, but also to actually finish a piece of work. And if you look at my Instagram, yes, I have a lot of things that I was doing during that time. That's called procrastination. That is a little bit different. But a lot of the procrastination that I do is attributed to a lot of the burnout type stuff that I was dealing with mentally. And when I say burnout, a lot of people don't realize that is like it can be seen as a depressive state, it can be seen as a saddened state, it can be seen as a lot of different states. And yeah, so by doing this, it's gotten me thinking about what has been going on with my life. And I have to point out that, like, at the beginning of this year, we decided that we wanted to try to go for it and grow our family. And so we've been dealing with not only COVID stuff, but we've also been doing classes, and we've been taking courses, and we've been doing a whole bunch of stuff in order to, adopt a baby. And this is one of those things of, okay, so we're doing that, and then on top of that, we had COVID hit, and we have a bunch of other things. I had a lot of things pop up in my family because of COVID, and that weren't too, easy. End of last year was not the best either because of everything going on. I didn't know it was going to lead to this, but like basically, having to deal with a lot of family issues, a lot of family stuff, all of a sudden brings out like this side, because I really like having my family around, and I like doing things with my family. And it's just basically, all in all, like, I think everyone's a little bit burnt out from talking about burnout from COVID. So let me get back to this artwork. So anyway, the bluish color that I use, or the greenish color, however your eye sees it, that one is like a grayish blue-green, called Demon Sky, named it was named that after I had asked, the internet and everyone that, follows my Instagram. One of my friends came up with the name based off of an actor in a movie, and it looked like, the color palette kind of looked like the actor in that movie. And I don't know the movie, and the actor's really good, so I just called it that. The bark brown is what I use for the ground, obviously. And then the wheat field, I wanted this more of like a fall setting because, it's winter already, and, but I have to work with the 3 paints that I was given to work with for these exercises, and that's been helping. Relating to the burnout that I was talking about, this has been helpful getting the burnout to kind of be no longer a burnout or a problem, but more or less basically working through the issues that I've been having that has caused the burnout that I've been dealing with for so long. Anyway, the sky was fun to do. I don't really get to paint with just this type of limited palette. The way that it was basically it was like a neutral brown with a shimmering pinkish warm brown, and then you have this really dark, moody, cool tone, bluish green, gray color that I'm working with, and it combined surprisingly very well with a lot of other things, especially with the mood of this particular piece. I do like on how it came out. These are, of course, all my own handmade watercolor paints. These are not purchased from anywhere. These are my own doing, my own creation. I believe the samples of the mica with the pink, and everything went out with some kits recently. So anyway, yeah, so this is me finishing up, just trying to blend in a little bit better, but yeah. All right, everyone. Thank you. I'm sorry I'm a little late on this video. Like I said yesterday, I was not feeling the greatest, so I ended up having to finish everything up today. Point of this whole entire thing is, please, whatever you do, if you're suffering from burnout or if you're just not in a good place mentally, do something so that you can kind of break free from the train of thought. And that is what I've been trying to do. I'm doing mine publicly. A lot of people like to do this privately. So if you want to do it privately, you can do so. If you want to share anything with anyone, you can do that too. Yours to command. Anyways, if you like this type of content, or if you like my channel, give me a thumbs up and a subscribe. Hit the little bell if you want to see my content when it has gone up and you're notified. And I will talk to you all next week. Thanks. Bye.